So, Don't Believe Everything You Think was based on a poem by one of the great thought training sages in Tibet that was written several centuries ago. And it's one of my favorite poems. It's called The 37 Practices of Bodhisattvas. And I think it's also one of His Holiness's favorites because he often teaches it, especially before giving initiations, both in the West and in Asia. He teaches this poem. So Khensur Jampa Tektrok did a very long commentary on it, which I edited into the book that is called Transforming Adversity into Joy and Courage. And then one weekend here at the Abbey, I taught the same poem, but I taught it just in a weekend in a very short, concise way. And then somebody typed it up and we made it into a little booklet. And many people read that booklet and thought it was very helpful. And so I thought, oh, well, let's make that into a longer text. And then the idea came, well, let's add some stories, real, live, true stories from people about how they practice what is written about in the text. So at the end of one of our courses, we sat around the dining room table, which is where I think most important things in life occur. And people talked about their own lives and just the stories that fit in with the verses in the book and how they use these different thought training things to deal with situations in their lives. And then other people, sometimes people will write me about their experiences in the Dharma. So I collated all these stories and then I, saw what verses that they matched and included these in the book. So the book became not only a description, a commentary on the poem, but also stories about how real live Westerners put this into practice in their lives. Yeah, so I think that's something quite special about the book because it's these stories are really good, and they're true, and we can relate to them, and that's very helpful in showing us how to put the Dharma teachings into practice. And the book got called "Don't Believe Everything You Think," because, believing everything we think is crazy making, because we have all sorts of garbage thoughts, ignorance, anger, attachment, jealousy, excuses, denial, justification, arrogance, grudge holding, we have thoughts of all this whole variety. And whenever those thoughts come into our mind, we believe they're true, and then we act on them. Somebody says something to us, and then we say, oh, they're insulting me. I've got to put a stop to this right away. And then we go out and tell the person off, and then we talk about them bad behind their back and get all of our friends on our side against them. And then, later on we realize, oh, I misunderstood what they said. That wasn't what they meant. or we go, what they said was just some small thing. Look at what I did. And now so many people are turned against me because I ruined this guy's reputation because I thought they insulted me, but they really, it was just some tiny thing, And so, it's really to our advantage to just stop, and look at our thoughts, check up on our thoughts, monitor our thoughts, and see if they're true or not. And if they're true, okay, we can think about, how to act based on that. But I think sometimes we'll find that what our thoughts are saying is not true in the least, and that it actually gets us into a lot of trouble when we believe the content of our untrue thoughts. And so then we just put them down and we practice what these verses say, which usually has to do with the opposite of what that thought was telling us. Okay, so the antidotes in the verses work really, really well. Of course, you have to practice them over time. It's not just a question of you think something once and then your mind changes. But you really practice these in your daily practice again and again and again, bringing up situations from the past and then working them through, discovering a new way to think as described in a particular verse.